I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Be advised that proper notice has been given by the Township Council in accordance with the Sunshine Law in the following manner. Notice advertised in the Burlington County Times and Camden Courier Post on January 16, 2018, and posted on the bulletin board on the same date. Ms. Correa? Here. Mr. Burrell?
Here.
Mrs. Colody?
Here.
Mr. O'Connell?
Here.
Mr. Catrambone?
Here. So before we get started with our regular meeting, we have a special guest with us tonight. It is Burlington County Clerk Tim Tyler, who has a presentation to the township. I guess we can go down and accept the presentation. Come on down.
Thank you for adding me to your agenda.
You're welcome. Notice is everything.
Exactly. So I thought I'd just give a little history of how we got here today. 1993, a Vietnam veteran went to the memorial at Washington, D.C. and noticed there was no flag. He had no flags. He could not present a flag or leave a flag there. Fast forward while that work, in 2017, August 7th, then Governor Chris Christie signed into legislation recognizing the KIA flag as a proper flag to be displayed at the principal buildings at the state, county, and municipality. This year, October 7th, Burlington County raised our flag. So there was like a year lag. What we found out was that the law kind of went under the radar. Not many people were supporting it. So as a part of an initiative that started through the clerk's office, my office decided that we would purchase all the flags for all 40 municipalities. And instead of just sending them out to everybody, well, it would mean more if I presented them to each municipality myself. So 40 municipalities will all be done by the middle of October. So it's quite busy. So on behalf of myself, my office, I'd like to present Mayor and Council, Delran Township, your Killed in Action flag. My pleasure. Thank you. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you very much for, again, thank you, allowing me to get on your agenda, so we appreciate it.
This is important.
It is. It's a nice. There's a lot of. I'm learning a lot about different towns too. Wrightstown Borough actually had somebody. They had 3 people that were killed in action. One of them was in the Battle of Bulge. Yeah. So Evesham and Burlington both had veterans that were on the veteran body. One of them, I remember, Evesham. One of his high school friends, when he graduated high school, he went to college. His friend went to the military and said, I'm going to have the government pay for my college education. He said, through this story, he was graduated in June. He was in Fort Dix in August. He was in Vietnam in October. And he was killed in action on December 1st. Yeah, so, yeah, learning a lot of stuff about that.
Great. Thanks, Tim.
Well, again, yes, it is. So you guys are actually number 16.
16?
16.
It's too late.
16.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're good.
That was nice. That's important.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Oh. You ready, Jim? Yep. Okay. So first item on the agenda is approval of minutes for July 20th, both action and, July 10th, both action and work session. I have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Correa? Abstain. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Colody?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Catrambone?
Aye. Then we have an ordinance on first reading. This is ordinance 2018-12. This is an ordinance of the township amending chapter 394 of the code of the township entitled Food and Beverage Vending Machines.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Colody?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Catrambone?
Aye. Next, we have an ordinance on second reading. This is a bond ordinance number 2018-8. And this is a bond ordinance providing for the construction and the undertaking of the service water system upgrade and an aeration blower replacement project by the township, appropriating $1.95 million and therefore authorizing the issuance of $1.95 million in bonds or notes of the township to finance the cost thereof. Because this is on second reading, we have a public hearing on this item and this item only. So I'll ask for a motion to go into public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So we're in the public portion for this ordinance and this ordinance only. If anyone has a question or comment, I'd ask if you'd be so kind as to step up, state your name and address for the record, and we'll try to address your questions. Seeing no hands, I'll ask for a motion to come out of public.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're back in our regular meeting. And I need a motion to approve bond ordinance number 2018-8.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. Next, we have resolutions. First is Resolution 2018-160. This is a resolution authorizing various 2018 sewer adjustments for Block 118, Lot 4, C361.
So
So
moved.
Second.
Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. Next is Resolution 2018-161. This is a resolution authorizing grass cutting for 15 Mulberry Street.
I'll make that motion.
Second. Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. Next is Resolution 2018-162, approving raffle license number 550 for Friends of Ron, Inc.
So moved.
Second.
Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. Next is Resolution 2018-163. Sadly, it's a resolution rejecting all bids received for the Delran Community Park Phase 5. This is Jake's Place Playground Project pursuant to the NJSA appropriate section and authorizing re-advertising and rebidding as the bids came in just too high.
So moved.
Second. Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. Next are our motions. I need a motion authorizing the payment of bills, including all purchases made under the cooperative purchasing agreement.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. Next, I need a motion accepting the report of the tax collector and our township clerk.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. Next, I need a motion accepting the report of the CFO, including the August year-to-date revenue report, the year-to-date budget report, and the August check register.
So moved.
Second. Oh, go ahead.
Second. Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. And our final motion is a motion granting a mercantile license to Jay's Landscaping, 3003 Bridgeboro Road, and Best Cut Lawn Care at 130 Hartford Road.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Ms. Correa? Aye. Mr. Burrell?
Aye.
Mrs. Cloete?
Aye.
Mr. O'Connell?
Aye.
Mr. Cattrick?
Aye. Now we have reports. First, a report from our township clerk, Jamie Eggers. Jamie, anything for us tonight?
Just want to thank everyone for, everyone who donated blood at the most recent blood drive. It was a very successful drive. Our next one is coming up in November.
Great, thank you. And from our township administrator, Jeff Hatcher. Jeff, anything tonight?
Yes, just a couple of reminders. They are on the website, but recycling for this week due to the Labor Day holiday, it's going to be Thursday, not Wednesday. And if your trash collection day was yesterday or today and you were missed, please keep it out and pick it up tomorrow, as it was a double day, so they might be behind in picking up the entire route. Finally, we had a pre-construction meeting on August 30th with respect to the Route 130 sidewalk grant program that we received, and they anticipate beginning the week of September 10th. They have 45 days for substantial completion and 60 days for final completion. That's all I have.
Great, thank you very much. And next, a report from our solicitor, Eric Rigo. Eric?
Nothing to report, Council President, other than our office continues to work with Mr. Hatcher regarding personnel matters and updating to our personnel.
Great, thank you. And now, representing the fire commissioners, Commissioner Jim Bauer, with an update on what's going on
Thank you, sir.
with the fire department.
Actually, I've been away for a week and a half on vacation,
least.
but we don't know what's up to date going on. I did make the Summer Hill fire. It was in the condos. Wasn't much of a fire, but it's a fully sprinklered building. Unfortunately for the person, it started in their bathroom, which is above the sprinkler system. And it just kind of smoldered and kind of walked down above the ceiling. It did eventually burn through the sprinkler piping, which actually put the fire out. So, they're quite lucky. The second one I did make was the Montclair garage fire. It was a garage well involved. Chester Avenue had a crew on, so the response time was pretty quick. It was a one-line job. The fire official has it as undetermined, so he was going back out. I don't know. I guess that was away, so I don't know if he found anything else. But when I left for vacation, it was undetermined. That's all I really know. So get away.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Okay, so reports from members of council. We traditionally start at my far right, representing Ward 1, Councilwoman Virginia Correa.
Sorry about
Okay. And Councilman at Large Tyler Burrell. Tyler, any report?
No report this evening, Mr. President.
Okay. You're welcome. And representing Ward 3, Councilwoman Patty Colodi. Patty?
No report this evening.
Wow. Must be hot out. All right, Dan. So, representing Ward 2, is Councilman Dan O'Connell.
Thanks,
Dan?
Gary. I hope everyone enjoyed the 3-day holiday, and in that regard, on Friday, I was fortunate to attend a breakfast for Labor Leader Peter McGuire, who many credit with the actual founding of Labor Day. He proposed it in 1882, and it finally was enacted in 1894. It only took him 12 years. And Peter resided in Camden for a while, and he's actually buried in a cemetery in Pennsauken. And after the breakfast, we went over to the cemetery, and a wreath was placed there by organized labor. And we were also informed the governor was there, Senator Menendez came, and other political leaders. And we were informed that due to actions by, I think it was Senator Sweeney in the state, the grave has now been placed on the state's Register of Historic Places, and Congressman Donald Norcross is spearheading an effort to put it on the National Register of Historic Places. In addition to promoting a Labor Day holiday, Peter McGuire is also responsible for helping enact the 8-hour workday. And he was one of the original founders of the American Federation of Labor, which is half of the AFL-CIO. So I hope you all enjoyed Labor Day, and I thought you might like to know a little bit about the guy that helped us get it. And the last thing is school's open, and I hope the residents and those that hear this will keep that in mind when they're driving around town. We get a lot of complaints about people speeding through neighborhoods. I live on a street that people use as a cut-through to get to 2 main roads, and they tend to forget that the speed limit is 25 miles per hour. Kids are out, kids are walking around, kids aren't necessarily looking for cars, so we got to look for them. That's all we have.
Thanks, Dan. I remember as a kid, I lived in Pennsauken when I was very young, and remember seeing them going to that. I lived not far from that cemetery from McGuire. So you echoed my sentiments. Actually, you brought them up. Just that school starts tomorrow. Just be extra careful with driving. That's all right. That's as far as I'm concerned, that's over. And I have no other report this evening. Anything from our mayor, Ken Harris? Ken?
No report.
Okay. So I'll ask at this time for a motion to go into public.
So moved.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're in public. I think everybody understands the rules. There's no newcomers here. If anybody has a question or comment, I'd ask for you to be recognized and come forward. Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Jeff Wagner, 116 Kathleen Avenue. Been here before. Hey, I was on the web, I watched your work session. It was a long hour long or so, and I wasn't about to watch that. I watched the last 5 minutes.
That was the best part, was the
I
work.
watched the last 5 minutes, which was the most interesting, so I heard that you guys had approved an ordinance for some kind of tax abatement for the Stellwag farm and another development. And the part that just drove me nuts was that the mayor had been in the newspapers about connections with the Stellwag farm, and then here I hear that you guys are given a break, a tax break, that's how I see it, for this project. Now, to me, it's absolutely nuts to give any residential project a tax break. A commercial one, I'm fine with that. But to me, anytime you build residential businesses, you're raising my taxes and everybody else's taxes. So please tell me why are you giving them a break?
Sure. This is all part of what everybody knows along the lines of the COA agreement that we're trying to find. The township was sued. We had an agreement with Stellwag, what is not Stellwag, but the new Stellwag development that was coming in. It was an agreement that was drafted and agreed upon, went through all the steps, and then the township was sued by Fair Share Housing, which is public information, and so were they, because they wanted, this Fair Share Housing wanted additional units in town of low to moderate income. They started off by asking, it all makes sense to you in a second. They started off by asking for about 1,300 low to moderate income housing units in town. And through negotiation, we were able to get it down to a number that was a little bit more reasonable at 365. So part of this was we needed the help of everybody that was involved, including Stellwag, the people that now own the Stellwag property. And they accommodated us by providing low to moderate income housing units that were still age restricted. I don't want to get too deep in the weeds because the whole thing hasn't been settled yet, but this one little piece that is now public record is out. So I spent a lot of time talking to the attorneys today to make sure that I didn't overstep what I could say. The bottom line on this is that we needed help because we needed them to provide units. The only way that they could do that was to do this short-term abatement. It's not a pilot. It's not a 30 years thing. It is a very short 5-year thing that phases in. It does not impact the low to mod units. It does not impact the land tax that they're currently paying. We're not reducing anything. We're just delaying for 1 year before we start stepping in what the improvements will bring. The other thing that's of note is that we were able to negotiate that those units, those low to moderate units, also be age restricted. So that development will still have no impact on the schools whatsoever. But everybody will get a piece of the action as it's coming in.
Is there another development also?
Yeah, but that was not included with any abatement. We didn't have a deal with that.
Oh, I thought there was.
There's another development
that you had a tax abatement.
No,
No.
absolutely not.
I guess that's two people related to the same development.
Just this, it's all part of the same settlement, but they are not. It is not included in the abatement.
Jeff, and let me be clear. I know you've seen a lot on Facebook. You got to be careful with Facebook, but I'm going to tell you, I have no ties with that development. And in this form of government, I also don't have a vote on the project. Okay, the entire council votes. I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
Did you also understand when Gary mentioned COLA? It's about affordable housing. What happened is the state law lapsed So affordable housing hasn't been built across the state for about 10 years. And what's happened is this group, Fair Share Housing, and I don't want to get too deep into it because we're still in negotiations with them, but they've gone around the state and tried to force towns to build more affordable housing. We're in the midst of that. You may have read, since you're reading the paper like me, you and I are probably the only two that are still doing that. There was a settlement recently with Morristown, New Jersey on that. So I just wanted to make sure you understood. We in government throw out acronyms all the time. A lot of times people don't understand them. I just wanted to make sure you do.
It just seems nuts that you're giving them a tax break that way to me. I would figure, why would you give the developer a tax break? Why don't you just say, well, go ahead, have fun. Build it. If you've got to pay extra money for it, that's your problem, not the town's. Just don't build the units.
I
Why don't you just,
understand.
like,
The option, the issue with this lawsuit was that we had to include some units, low to mod units, where frankly the developers don't get any money. And if it wasn't for the fact that we already had a deal, we would probably said that. But we already had, and we needed those units to get to the number we had to get to in order to settle the suit. This is not something that we went after or that we necessarily wanted to do. This was a lawsuit. It could have been 4 times the number that it was, but we spent many, many hours negotiating with the people that sued us, the people that own the Stellwag property. There are 2 developments that are, they call them interveners, who were trying to come in and be part of that. We kind of cashed in on that. They didn't have deals with us in advance of that to build an age-restricted development. So we needed those units from Stellwag. So we asked them for help, and they said, well, we don't make any money on low-to-mod housing. And can you help us by stepping in the taxes? So, I mean, I don't know how much, I'm pretty deep in the weeds already. But it's not, oh, they don't pay any taxes for 30 years. This is, they don't pay taxes for 1 year on the improvements on the fair market on the new homes. The COA units for 1 year, and the next year they paid 20% more. They paid 20% of taxes, and then 40, then 80, and then 100. So in 5 years, they're paying the full amount of the taxes. It's going to be millions instead of thousands that development will create in taxes, all with no impact to the schools. So it's not what, we didn't go out asking for that, but we were in the middle of a suit, we had to settle it, and that was the way that we went in order to get that settled.
If I was a developer and I was going to build a bunch of units, would you now give me a tax break just because I'm going to build 1,000 units?
No.
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 Okay. So, but you're giving it to these guys, so you're paying them off one way or the other. You're paying them off something in order to take care, I guess, of this litigation.
This obligation, that it's a constitutional obligation to have low to moderate
I mean, if
housing.
you have to do that, that's fine. You have to do that, but then I'm seeing you just have those, whatever units you're supposed to have, you just have the units. All right, well, while I'm here, on the low to moderate housing and so on, do they pay the same taxes that the person next door paid the regular place pays, or do they pay a reduced price also?
They pay a tax rate that's based on the
On
value of their
valuations,
homes.
but the valuation of the home would be the same, right? They just pay less.
No, they pay less for the home. The home is.
Yeah, I understand. They pay less for the home, but
Right.
the one right next door to them is the exact same home.
Yeah.
But the person living here makes more money. So this person here
Right,
is.
but it's
ends up-
deed restricted to a lower value. Am I accurate with that, Eric?
Yes.
But the cash money out of the person's pocket.
It's not, it doesn't necessarily,
Or how about the taxes that the town gets? The town gets the same amount of taxes for both properties?
no.
There's no 2 identical properties. The low-income properties are not identical to the market rate properties.
Are they made differently?
Yes, they're smaller, yes.
Different
Different amenities.
amenities,
All right.
construction.
Okay.
I understand.
I gave up.
Thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no hands, I'll ask for a motion to come out of public.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We're back in our regular meeting. I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned.